Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. Today's video is not really one that I'm really happy about making because it's a video that's being created due to the recent events that are happening in the Middle East with Israel. If you don't already know, Israel is at war. And there's just been a lot of talk in the community due to this, because if you don't already know, the main developers of Kaspa live in Israel. And to begin, I just want to give you updates on some of the main developers who are really working hard on Rust, or one of the core researchers. This is Michael Sutton. He's been working on Rust a lot, and he says, "For all who care for us in Israel, me and my family are safe. Please pray for us wherever you might be." And then he says at hashtag is safe as well. And that's Jonathan, who is the founder of Kaspa. And then Shai also says, since the Shabbat is out, I've been reaching out to all Israeli cast contributors and community members I know. So far, everyone I have been able to contact is safe, as well as anyone they know of. Thanks for your concern. It is very meaningful in these dreadful times. And what's going on is very sad. But a lot of people in the community have been expressing their opinions and concerns, which is totally valid, because Kaspa simply does not have a say in what's going on in the global world. I have to remind you guys, Kaspa is as stateless and decentralized as you can get in the digital world. It's so decentralized and stateless. It allows me to paste the logo on a random sweater and wear it wherever I want. Name my channel after the name, and it doesn't really matter because there's no company, there's no CEO, there's no foundation or organization that dictates or tries to enforce certain things onto people. It's a free market, and everyone can freely choose to purchase Kaspa or to sell Kaspa. And I just want to read what Bubblegum Lightning wrote in this post, because I think he hit the target right on the bullseye. And if you don't already know who Bubblegum Lightning is, he is one of the main writers for Kaspa. He writes a lot of the Medium articles, and recently he's been very well known for writing the book of Kaspa. And I highly encourage you guys, if you have not checked that book out, you can look up on Amazon the book of Kaspa, and you can go ahead and pick up that book and just give it a read. I think it'll give you a lot of insight and knowledge about Kaspa. But this is what Bubblegum Lightning had to say about the recent events and how this affects Kaspa. So in light of recent events in Israel, I feel the need to address some things directly. It's no secret that many core contributors of our community, some of whom I personally consider friends and family, reside there and have been directly impacted by the ongoing situation. Everyone has a unique reaction when faced with distressing circumstances, especially when their safety and the safety of their loved ones is jeopardized. The rawness of human tragedy, especially when inflicted by other human beings, is always heart-wrenching and profoundly unsettling. It shouldn't need to be said, but perhaps needs radiation. Kaspa, as a platform, remains neutral. It doesn't have a formal team, central authority, and most definitely, Kas does not and cannot have emotions or opinions. To put it bluntly, if you ever find a civil bar showing emotions about global incidents, do reach out. I'd be keen to introduce you to a talented psychiatrist. However, it's imperative to remember that the people behind Kaspa do have emotions and opinions. The brilliant minds that contribute to Kaspa are not faceless codes or emotionless algorithms. There are individuals, each with their feelings, fears, hopes, and opinions. Some are vocal about their views, especially when it concerns the safety and future of their homeland, family, and friends. It's distressing to see that for the sake of crypto gains, we risk overlooking this human element, inadvertently implying that Kaspa has a stance, when in reality it doesn't. The people do. There's a broader picture here. There are individuals caught in this turmoil who might not wish to be part of the conflict. There are those disheartened by the actions of their governance. While Kaspa is not a platform for politics, we must acknowledge that human suffering isn't politics. It's just that, human suffering. All I ask is for understanding and compassion, my friends, my Kaspa family, and amidst this, in the literal line of fire. Let's prioritize humanity and remember the real faces behind the screen. If you take issue with someone's personal views, address them directly and without Kaspa in focus. Remember, at its core, Kaspa is just a block tag, and you, me, us, and the global community as a whole is its image and PR. If you hold these guys responsible for your Kaspa bag, that's on you. They have family and their own lives too. And I really like this last line that he says here. He says, if you hold these guys responsible for your Kaspa bag, that's on you. They have families and their own lives too. I don't think a lot of people realize that Kaspa is truly decentralized. And anyone's opinions that you see online, including the founder, including researchers, including myself, we don't speak directly for Kaspa because there really is no organization behind it. It's neutral. What is done to it is purely voted on by the community. What any changes can be done to it has to be in consensus with everyone. You can't just go ahead and make any changes to Kaspa. If you try to do this, you will create a fork and you will create another coin, and you will just enter into the everlong forks, just like Bitcoin, where there's tons of different forks. The people you watch online about Bitcoin, they don't speak for Bitcoin either. There's people who have their own opinions and how they view the world and Bitcoin and how it's going to fit in that I don't personally agree with. There's things in Kaspa that people say about it that I don't agree with, and it doesn't mean anything. I mean, I'm very vocal about my personal faith, and my personal faith doesn't even align with a lot of the core members of the community. But it doesn't really matter because we're here for a mission that we see could be revolutionary to the crypto space, and that is creating an actual digital currency that is free from government control and is completely stateless. It doesn't care where you're from, what race you are, what you believe in. It doesn't matter. It's a free market, and anyone can purchase Kaspa or sell it on the market if they desire to do so. And recently I saw the founder make a statement about the recent events, and some people took it personal, and in my opinion, I think he was taken out of context. But it really doesn't matter what I think, because it's hard to place an opinion about something that I definitely have never lived in. And personally, I just never experienced something like that. I've been truly blessed to be living in a place where I don't fear for my life like these people in Israel do every single day, with possible missiles being shot at your own country. I don't have to go through that, and I can't imagine what that is. So I think people need to think about the bigger picture and remember that the people behind Kaspa who are developing it have their own lives, and they're actual people as well. They're not just solely working their whole lives to only make Kaspa the greatest thing ever. They also have their own families and things that they got to take care of too. And again, if you hold these guys responsible for your Kaspa bag, that is totally on you, and it is. I understand that Jonathan does have some type of weight because he is the founder, but again, he has just as much control as I have control, which is pretty much nothing. We just have opinions that we could put out there, and we see if people agree with them. And that goes for people who are listening to me on here. If I come on here and randomly start bashing Kaspa and start saying that I think it's actually a scam and stuff like that, it is totally my opinion, and you shouldn't be blaming me for your bag. It's your decision to invest into it, and I could change my mind. I'm a human, and I could be wrong about things. So you need to make sure that when you're in an investment, it is purely because you have your own conviction. Yes, I help with researching. I try to do my best to give you guys as much information and details about Kaspa to help you guys so that you guys don't have to keep looking around the internet. But just remember that my opinion is my own, and I'm just sharing my personal thoughts about Kaspa and what I see about it. So right now, looking at the future of Kaspa, this is one of the risks that I have mentioned in the past, and that is development risk, that there could be delays in development, and this could be seen as a risk. And currently, this situation, of course, would delay development, and by all means, it should. This stuff that's going on over there is a lot more important than Kaspa and money. And truly, you just have to understand your risk. And I believe that it's very important right now to just be in prayer for all the devs over there that are going through this as we continue to navigate and continue to try to make Kaspa the greatest crypto that's been built since Bitcoin. So just remember that any opinions you see about from anyone, even core people from Kaspa, it really doesn't mean that they represent Kaspa literally, because Kaspa is very neutral, and it's ultimately, in my opinion, its only stance is freedom, because it doesn't care who you are. Anyone can buy it, anyone can send it, receive it. And I just want to give you guys some comparisons, because some people would get upset about opinion about a founder that someone says, or something that one of the core researchers says, but they would be very happy to invest into something like XRP that does have a company behind it, and the company does hold a substantial amount of XRP and is quoted on the World Economic Forum. But people still buy XRP. They don't care that their company that's holding XRP is actively funding an organization that can be viewed by many as an organization that is just trying to have insane government overreach. And those are just my opinions. And not only that, I myself use the US dollar as my medium of exchange, but I don't agree with where the money is spent when I pay my taxes and the government controls the US dollar, but yet I still use it because it's the way to live. So you may not agree about how the people behind a certain currency act or what they think, but it doesn't matter, because it's more than that. It's a currency for all. Anyone can use it. And in fact, I can't even really compare it to the fiat money, because fiat money can be confiscated, can be taken from people, and can be prevented from use of other people. But with Kaspa, it can't. No one can really stop you from using Kaspa. It's totally decentralized and stateless. And this is very important to realize about Kaspa. But my prayers do go out to all the devs and everyone in the world that are facing any type of conflict, not just Israel. There's other countries that are constantly going into wars, and they live for fears for their lives every single day. So my prayers go out to all of them, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys are new around here, consider subscribing. We're going to get back into content, educational content about Kaspa, to help you guys understand and learn more, understand your risk, understand the bullish sides of Kaspa, and hopefully just better you guys as an investor in the crypto space. So as always, don't be average, be different.